As I said in the last video, we've got some ridiculous moments that are about to happen now that we've passed turn 200. First of all, I want to update everyone. Mongolia has in fact passed the Zulu in their number of cities. Mongolia has 26 cities, while the Zulu only have 24. I know you're thinking, Drew, only 24 by turn 202. But still, I mean, this is significant. This is a very significant moment, and this might also be kind of telling us why Genghis Khan passed up Shaka in terms of the score list. I know the score list doesn't mean much, but at the same time, you gotta think that maybe we're focusing too much on the Zulu here. Maybe the Zulu are not the ones that we need to be taken down. Maybe, in fact, it's Mongolia. Now, it's a bit of a difference, only because Mongolia has a lot more enemies next to them. Now that all these denouncements have played out, I have checked, Mongolia has in fact denounced both China and Korea. Yeah, that's pretty significant, and they are already at war with the Huns. Who knows what could happen with India? So this is, if Mongolia does become the strongest civ, and they do pass up Shaka, because they're going to get another city, they're going to take this Hunnic city, that's going to be gone, and they're only going to continue to, just like Shaka in South America, Mongolia is only going to continue off towards Alaska and maybe the west coast of the US, which would be awesome. Okay, so over the break I did quite a few things. First of all, I unveiled the technology for oil. So as you can see, if we look around the map, we'll see a little bit of oil. It's funny, maybe I have to kind of apologize to Elizabeth. Not too bad of a spot now that she has access to oil. 3 coppers and 1 oil, not bad. Maybe an antiquity site here or there. I mean, that's some culture or some tourism if they really want it. Again, I'm probably going to forget. I'm going to miss a lot of the oil resources because I am blind as a bat. You guys know this by now. But there doesn't seem to be that much oil. A lot of oil out in the sea or out in the tundra. Not so much like in the middle of Europe. Not much at all. Not as much as you would think in the Sahara Desert or the Arabian Peninsula. That's like the first place I checked, and I was like, wait, what? There is no oil here. If I'm correct, there is no oil in the Arabian Peninsula. You got me. I have no idea. Obviously, Shaka has access to a lot of oil. A lot of the oil in this map is actually coastal. Not too much inland, which is strange. But I guess we'll see. South America doesn't hold too much. Again, it's kind of coastal down here. And North America has a little bit, as in the northern coast of, well, they've got that source there. Some tundra. In Australia, where they're not too much. Again, a lot of coal, though. A lot of coal. All the oil is off the coast. Which is okay. That's fine. That's fine with me, game. I'm not going to complain. So yeah, as you can see, the oil has been founded. The final thing I kind of wanted to show you guys. Well, first of all, there's 2 things I kind of want to show you guys before I hit next turn. First of all, this little fleet here. This Elizabeth fleet. This English fleet. Pretty awesome. I don't know why. I just thought that was interesting. The way they're all kind of facing... They're all kind of directed over this way. I mean, Elizabeth has most of this world discovered. I did look at what she's seen. She has pretty much the entire world discovered, except for inland U.S., which is kind of crucial for them to eventually discover. The final thing I wanted to show you guys is the diplomacy overview screen. Look at this mess. We looked at this like a few videos ago, and everybody was friends. There are barely any more friendships. We've got France and Austria. We've got Japan and Indonesia. The Ottomans and Korea. Is that it? Because that seriously might be it. No, we already saw that one. We already saw that one. Carthage and the Huns. We just saw that one. Yeah, that is it. There are like 4 alliances. I think that's 4. I don't know. There's like 4 alliances left in this world. Everyone else has denounced other people. It's just all denouncements, which is crazy. Also, a big thing to key. No, I'm just trying to throw in key however I can now at this point. But a big thing to look into is that Shaka has yet to denounce Ethiopia. So, again, Shaka might be losing his #1 spot in terms of most expansive, as well as maybe the military category, but he's yet to denounce Ethiopia, and vice versa. Nothing has come from that. So Mongolia looks like they're going to pass them up. So let's hit next turn. Now, there's a few things that I'm going to be able to predict. First of all, the Huns are still at war with Mongolia, but it looks like the Huns are more preoccupied with kind of dealing with Persia here. Looks like they're going to actually go in there and start to attack Persia. Russia looks like Catherine might take away some cities from Korea. Korea doesn't have very many reinforcements down here, or I guess up here, just north, because it's separated from their continent. And because Mongolia has denounced Korea, there's no way, I don't think there's any way for Korea to get, I guess there is, but for an AI to find this small pocket here would be really difficult. I doubt that they're going to be able to see that and to maneuver a good enough amount of reinforcements to protect against Catherine. So we definitely could see Catherine maybe take some cities away from Korea. I know that everyone's talking about Korea, everyone's saying GG Korea, but honestly, it might not be that easy. Korea, first of all, they have a divided empire that can easily fall to either the Chinese Empire or the Mongolian Empire. Also, they border Japan. I know Japan's not a strong force in this game, but still, Korea is, even though they are ahead, technically speaking, they could easily drop just so fast. They have like no military units. Look at this. They've got nothing. Cannons are not going to be able to protect you from the massive. So Spain has lost another city to Morocco. Cannons will not be able to protect Korea, not from the massive Mongolian army that is kind of scattered right now, but if they focus it in, they will be able to take some stuff over. If Catherine takes a few of these northern cities from Korea, that's going to be tough. I mean, actually, the northern cities seem to be more difficult to take than their actual capital. And the capital has a lot of wonders, so that's big. Okay, so assigned delegate. I would like to not... Yeah, I guess I'll just abstain once again. Would like to not be the world leader anymore. Carthage and the Huns have signed a research agreement, so that's pretty much the only research agreements we're going to see. Another big factor here is that Korea does not have any friends, which means that he won't be able to get up as many research agreements, which means that we might not see a science victory as easily from him. Again, if someone goes to war, then they're going to be in trouble. China is continuing to move down south, try to regain most of the control back in Australia. They've lost a lot to Mongolia. Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, we got Mongolia. Wow, look at this. Just such a dick move. Who is this? Arabian frigate. An Arabian fleet down here. It's weird how the AI kind of sends their ships out in like this uniform formation. It's kind of cool. I like it. Yeah, I'm so happy also. Like, you know, I realized before this video, oh my god, like I'm so surprised that this actually works. Like looking around the Atlantic Ocean and seeing all of these units kind of move across to the Americas, because I was unsure. I wasn't completely 100% sure that this colonial idea was going to work, but it's only 200. We are definitely going to see some awesome colonies by the end of this. And it's just, I'm just so excited that this plan and this map and this AI only sort of thing kind of worked out exactly how we want it to be. And I can't wait to see how Germany settles. We've got 3 settlers. One has already made a landing. So that's going to be good. And Spain is going to get something in the Caribbean, just north of South America. Good for them. The other prediction that I have is that Babylon might end up coming out of nowhere. Now, right now, the biggest problem right now is that Babylon only has, the Ottomans and China have made peace. Doesn't really matter. Right now, the biggest problem for Babylon is they only have 2 cities. That's an issue. And that doesn't matter either. Theodora and France. But Arabia is lacking. Arabia is lacking military units big time. I don't know if it's... I mean, they're kind of scattered. First of all, the AI obviously is not smart. They can barely move their military forces across the Red Sea to protect Thebes. I mean, how ridiculous would that be if Egypt took back Thebes because Arabia just wasn't able to send over their units? They look like they got 1 pikeman, but that's not going to be enough. 2 pikemen, I mean. They got a rifleman and a spearman. I'm sure they'll be able to defend against Thebes. The problem is that what if Arabia, over the course of a few turns, sends everyone over towards Thebes? But then we have Babylon. Oh, and there goes the final Hunnic city dropping in East Asia. But what if Babylon declares war on Arabia? Let's not forget that Arabia has the most amount of... looks like everyone's going to declare war on Byzantium. Arabia, I believe, has the most amount of wonders in this game. Kind of between Mecca and Thebes both. Technically, I think Mecca has a bit more wonders. Remember, Egypt did very poorly. They didn't use their unique ability in the beginning of this campaign. So, I mean, technically, we could see Babylon come out of nowhere and grab a few of these cities on the Arabian Peninsula. Maybe if they attacked, if they made an offensive towards Thebes, and they could be right back in this game. How crazy would that be? Babylon's still in this game. Again, Babylon, it would be difficult because you have the Ottomans in their north, and the Ottomans are pretty strong, but still, I mean, one little swift move. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I know that everyone's talking about the Big Four, and I'm going to continue to refer to the Big Four throughout this series. The Big Four are the Zulu, the Mongolians, Korea, and Ethiopia. Now, technically, you could argue that Ethiopia isn't really in a spot to be considered one of the Big Four. You could probably argue that China might be in that spot. And by the way, I do have I've got 4 spies now, and I have them going towards the Big Four. I would understand the argument that maybe Ethiopia isn't playing that big of a role in terms of a victory, a possible victory condition. You could probably argue maybe more of China, but the biggest thing that I'm giving to Ethiopia right now is, first of all, they're probably not going to be able to get taken over, even by the Zulu. Maybe this city, but not their main empire. But the biggest factor for Ethiopia is just their damn religion. I've got 41 cities by far, and I'm sure it's only going to continue to increase. I'm sure the Babylonian Empire will soon lose like their final 2 cities that have fallen to Islam. And we're just going to see Eastern Orthodox, I think, really take over most of Europe soon. I mean, we could see Eastern Orthodox spread to about 50 cities by the end of this campaign. And you got to remember that they've got some pretty damn good beliefs. Range combat strength. Science, when a missionary or prophet spreads, and Ethiopia has been doing a very good job at spreading their religion, even though they don't really have to, as well as faith. Even though we've entered the industrial era, maybe that won't be as big of a factor. Holy Warriors probably isn't, but yeah, I mean that you can purchase these religious buildings, which is pretty good. So that's why I'm arguing that Ethiopia should be kind of in the big 4. But I would definitely understand if you're maybe considering China. China is the 3rd most expansive in this game at 12 cities. I know that's not that much, but it's still something. And the Zulu have become the World Congress host still. I think they're remaining the world host. So Spain did settle down here. Good for them. They settled Toledo. And China's entered the modern era. I know that was... I know I've missed a few of those, but yeah. And people are now piecing out with Egypt. It doesn't matter until Arabia pieces out with Egypt. It doesn't really matter. All right, so Germany is about to get a whole lot stronger. Morocco. Oh, Carthage. Oh, shit, that's a big one. Carthage after Morocco. Morocco's lost. Look how many units Morocco's lost in their military. So many units. They've lost so many, throwing them at Spain. Spain has lost some units too, but Spain isn't really surrounded by anyone too tough, except for Carthage, but Carthage clearly has her eyes set on Morocco. Whoa. This may be interesting. This may be really interesting. Also, what do the Zulu do from here now? The Zulu have not declared war in a very long time. They could. They've got a huge force. They've got a lot of forces over here. Oh, crap. Ethiopia and the Huns? Weird. Okay. How's Morocco do? Or I'm sorry, how's Mongolia doing? Mongolia's doing good. The Huns have been shut out of Eastern Asia. So yeah, I mean, I was referring to Mongolia as like the protector of East Asia, but that's not the case, because Mongolia has, I think, denounced every single Eastern civ. China, Korea, and Japan. I think even Indonesia. So Mongolia technically is not the protector, and I think we could see a war break out soon. Although, the thing is, I don't think we're going to see as many wars from a lot of the big colonizer civs, because there's still land for them to grab. They're not worried about wars, because usually the AI goes to war when they want land. But a lot of these guys already found the land. They're like, oh crap, this is awesome. But that might not be completely the truth. Oh crap, there's some big ones that just happened. Oh, crap. Oh my gosh, the Huns in Ethiopia doesn't really matter. Sweden and Morocco and Ethiopia versus the Zulu. Oh, shit. Well, I am just a liar. I am a straight up liar. Is Poland going to be able to do anything in this war against Sweden? Maybe. They might take Sigtuna. I don't know what they would do after that, but yeah, Sweden doesn't have much. Whoa. Poland's the underdog. I'm telling you, Poland is the dark horse. Dark horse? Is that the phrase? Yeah, dark horse. Oh my gosh, Ethiopia. Now, this has pretty much been the match we've been waiting for. We've been talking about Ethiopia being kind of the protector of civs in this game. Ethiopia has protected everyone from just the evil empire of the Zulu. But, I mean, this city will for sure fall. They've got no reinforcements this way. Ideology has been adopted. China has chosen freedom. Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got a complete mess going on in Africa. We have a continental war going on in Africa. We have Arabia versus Egypt. We've got Carthage versus Morocco, and we have Zulu versus Ethiopia. A massive, massive continental war going on within this video. It just happened right now. I believe, is Morocco still at war with Spain? Yeah, they are. Morocco technically is still at war with Spain. They're not going to be able to make much progress. I'll have to keep my eye on to see exactly how Poland does against Sweden. They might take Sigtuna, but there's no way. I don't think there's any way Stockholm's going to get taken, just because there are a lot of Swedish ships in the Baltic Sea right now. Whoa. All right, I just started talking about how I didn't think too many wars were going to break out, but I am totally wrong. There really is. There are going to be a lot of wars that are going to break out, no matter whether there's a lot of land to grab or not. Spain and Ethiopia have made peace. Oh my gosh! But here, oh, this is going to be a big war. This is going to be a big war because you declared war on Ethiopia at the wrong time. I think Ethiopia's made it into the industrial era, so they probably won't be able to use much of their faith. But can't forget they still have that Pantheon, which is going to allow their cities to attack twice as hard, or no, 30% harder from city bombardment. This city will for sure drop to the Zulu, which actually doesn't matter. It's not. They're not going to border any new civs. Maybe they'll border Rome, which could lead them to maybe taking Antium and then moving to Babylon. Technically, the AI could do that, but it would be difficult since Rome, kind of holds a very skinny position here. Whoa. Holy shit. 3 wars going on. I mean, I'm going to focus obviously mainly on the Zulu-Ethiopian war. And it was the Zulu that declared war on Ethiopia. I'm sure. I don't know if they're just trying to take this former Songhai city, if that's what their major goal was. It looks like it because most of their troops are located just north here, right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Wow. My mind just got blown right now. Jeez. We should probably double check on the ideologies now. What do we got? So we got freedom with China, double order with Korea and Mongolia, the Hanse autocracy, and the Zulu autocracy. All right, so let's check what we got. So Zulu army is currently marching towards a surprise attack. Okay, so I guess that was for the Ethiopian civ. Shaka is secretly plotting against Siam. That will never pan out for you. I don't know what you're thinking there. Korea plotting against Sweden. Okay, yeah, you guys do border each other, so that makes sense. Ethiopia was plotting against Egypt, but that's going to stop any sort of hopes that they would take over Egypt. Now, how does Babylon play into this? How does Rome play into this? I mean, obviously, Rome won't be able to defend or go after some sort of city, but Antium is still a city with 7 population. That's pretty damn good. Also, I need to keep my eye on the minimap. Does that minimap look beautiful to you guys? I mean, it doesn't look beautiful, but damn, like, obviously it doesn't have, it's not super clean. The borders are kind of messed up here and there, but at the same time, I still think it looks relatively good for kind of the way this is played out. I'm sure by the end of this game, we're going to see a pretty beautiful mini-map here. Pretty beautiful. Germany still is yet to settle their new colonies in the Americas. Remember, they've got 3 settlers. They have 3 settlers. We also have to pay attention to Mongolia in Alaska. All right, so exactly, could we see a few exchanges in cities? It looks like Ethiopia might be just going for the defense here. They might be going for a defend. Now, look at Arabia, though. What is Arabia doing? Could you imagine if Arabia backstabs Ethiopia right now? Oh my gosh, how sad would that be? So Morocco and Spain have finally made peace. Yeah, you're going to need to really pay attention to Carthage. Carthage is going after the Moroccan capital. These are pretty minor civs. I mean, you could kind of argue these are pretty minor civs. I don't think they have an opportunity to win the game, but a few big cities that might drop, and you could really see a civ come out of nowhere and maybe win the game. I don't think it's going to be Carthage. Carthage plays weird. I don't know. Carthage is just a strange civ. I don't know if we could really see that. I don't think Ethiopia is going to be able to handle this. There are just way too many Zulu troops. I believe the Zulu are at 250,000 troops right now in their army. Obviously at the number 1 spot in the demographics. Yep, here they go. But will the Ethiopian capital fall? That's a big one, if the Ethiopian capital will fall. Yeah, I'm going to abstain, obviously. And I wonder if Persia is going to ban that salt. I believe a lot of the Eastern civs, the Eastern Asian civs have a lot of salt. I know for a fact that Mongolia has a lot, which that's kind of a low blow Persia's doing there. So I guess China or Catherine has not made too much of progress moving against Korea. Yeah, I know that Catherine is kind of behind in technology, but still, this would have been pretty big if they were able to maybe take over a few cities up over here. Wow, this has gotten interesting. Ethiopia might fall, which means what African nation is going to be able to stand up to Shaka? Nobody. The entire world cannot stand up to Shaka. The only person that could is all the way on the other side of the world, and that is Mongolia. Sad, sad world. Wow, look at all these forces. Are they moving east or are they moving west? Oh my gosh, Ethiopia, I would be terrified. I would be terrified if I was in your situation. And there it goes. Let's go, Germany. Anyways, guys, big episode next time. I will see you guys tomorrow.